Oh, no, this is
Okay.
yeah, it is. We live.
All right. First and foremost, we would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Hashem, Kakurash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation, hopefully out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Hashem Shah. Pushing to get up out of the shalom to the hopeful leg that believers or listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Hashem Shah. All right. Got the beloved brother from the GMS, Bay St. Louis. All right. The coach brothers up here breaking bread. All right. And what we're going to get into, something we were discussing, yesterday, dealing with this word empty, and empty is a perfect way to describe, this society, because through what you call behavior modification, all right, the tactics of Esau, even the devil, through enchantments and psyops, okay, he has made this place very empty, very void. People complain about, the thrill, is gone, all right, that American experience is watered down, okay, and that comes from decades and decades of people being emptied out, spiritually, intellectually, okay, and we're going to get that word empty, and go into some definition. You got it.
I use the word empty in the online etymology, the adjective. It says, a person is at leisure, not occupied, unmarried. It says also receptacles containing nothing.
Containing nothing. Go ahead.
It says of places unoccupied.
Yep.
And it says
okay, we're gonna get it from both sides, the scriptures even go into prophecy dealing with empty. Go ahead.
It says empty originally.
And you can get the one
I'm
Google.
And you Google, that's one for the get because
you get the one in Google.
it's gonna break it down.
Yeah, we're gonna go straight to it.
It's a lot.
Cause we're gonna touch it from both sides as well.
Empty.
People being empty. How the Lord gonna empty this bitch out, man.
This is empty meaning in Google definition. It says containing nothing, not filled or occupied.
It said containing nothing, not filled or occupied. All right, and you look at this, at these people, they're empty. People have no skills. That's why it's so easy for AI to replace people. Because people are empty as hell. You see, most people that you run across, they have no actual skill. Because a lot of these jobs that people have, they are not needed. Because see, they got this word essential. Matter of fact, what we talked about the other day. That it's Rock 33. Without these, can none of these be a habit. Let's get that.
I got
You see, because really, Esau has a lot of fluff work for people to do. HR, the hotel industry, but when you look at these things on the grand scale, it leave people empty because you got people, that work these jobs that have no actual skill. Okay? People go to Esau school and pretty much Esau school system empty you out. It takes away your ability to think. You know what I'm saying? Now, you're a damn idiot.
Well, the Greek means to step down.
Yeah. So when you go into it, Esau has made people empty, okay? And you're going to go into some synonyms of empty too.
Okay.
Get some of the synonyms, we're going to get that precept.
Synonym look.
Empty. We can go back to the definition. Because I said they describe this society.
It says containing nothing, not occupied or inhabited. It says lacking reality, substance, meaning, or value.
Lacking reality, substance, meaning, or value, man. Lacking reality, which you delusional. Okay? The only people that saying, all right, you got women saying they don't need men. Okay? That's not reality.
Right.
Like, how you not need men? Okay? That's like a shark saying he don't need water.
Right.
That's what it was made for.
Right.
The Bible says he was made for the man,
Right.
but you say you don't need man. Okay, you got young Jake saying, they just want to slide every day. They interviewing these young niggas. They say, I just want to slide every day. Nigga, that's not reality. Like what? People like what?
It's a video game.
Yeah. There's no value.
GTA.
Yeah,
Real life.
nigga, you bring no value to the earth. So Esau has made people empty, you know, to the point to where it's just a bunch of useless people in the earth, man. That's why the judgment of the Lord gonna be with nukes.
That's right.
You know, you got it, bro.
It says, destitute of effect or force. It says having no purpose or result.
Woo! No purpose or result. Now, let's get to people of purpose. You know what I mean, brother? Speaking about this the other day too, you got it, bro.
You want me to start at Wisdom of a Learned Man?
Yeah.
Alright, this is a rock, aka Ecclesiastes 38 and 24. It reads, the wisdom of a learned man comes by opportunity of leisure.
Yep. So wisdom of a learned man comes by opportunity of leisure. So you had society will be set up of learned men. You know, they will be specialists in particular wisdom. And society needed that. And then society also needed other skills as well. Go ahead.
And he that has little business shall become wise.
Yeah, he that has little business. And that's why when you look at nobles, all right, people that ruled over other people, well, they won't be occupied with the day-to-day occupation because they made decisions that would make those people who were in those day-to-day occupations, their life easier. Okay, they will create economies, they will make deals with other, you know, kingdoms, okay, because that was their duties. So they couldn't be tied up into the carpentry work, the blacksmith work, because they had to negotiate, they had to understand, you know, how money works, how, you know, agriculture works, in order to make it better on everyone that they rule over, man. Go ahead.
How can he get wisdom that holds the plow?
Go ahead.
And that glories in the goat that drives oxen and is occupied in their labors and whose talk is of bullocks?
Yep, go ahead.
He giveth his mind to make furrows and is diligent to give the kind of fodder.
Yep.
So every carpenter and workmaster that labors night and day, and they that cut and grave seals and are diligent to make great varieties and give themselves to counterfeit imagery and watch to finish a work. The smith also sitting by the avail and considering the iron work, the vapor of the fire wasteth his flesh, and he fighteth with the heat of the furnace. The noise of the hammer and the avail is ever in his ear, and his eyes look still upon the patterns of the thing that he maketh. He setteth his mind to finish his work, and watches to polish it perfectly. So does the potter sitting at his work and turning the wheel about with his feet, who is always carefully set at his work, and maketh all his work by number. He fashions the clay with his arm and bows down his strength before his feet. He applies himself to lead it over, and he is diligent to make clean the furnace. All these trust to their hands, and everyone is wise in his work.
Everyone is wise in his work. Expert men in particular crafts. Okay? So these are men of skill. And this is what the city, all right, your community, your town is supposed to be full of men of skill. That's why it was so easy for Jake to have a Rosewood, okay, a Black Wall Street. Because you had all these men of skill. It wasn't empty like now.
Right.
Okay? But now what do you have, man? All right? Niggas that know how to roll weed, cook crack, you know?
But can't fish and hunt.
Yeah. But niggas an expert thief. You know? You see, this is the thing. The brother went into all these occupations. When you go into the scriptures, these are expert men in their craft. These men have, going back to, they're not empty. Because what? Empty goes back to what? Having no purpose.
Right, having no purpose or result.
The purpose or result. So, men, okay, and women, because guess what? They wives had to hold them down while they was experts in their craft.
Exactly.
So women had purpose. They weren't empty like today. Okay? Just know how to do TikTok challenges and goddamn.
Shake their ass.
Yeah. Put on outfits. Empty as hell. Bitch can't earn.
Can't make a damn thing.
Yeah.
Can't sew,
Yeah.
can't cook,
You know what I'm saying?
can't wash clothes.
Yeah. Motherfucker can't, you know. I bet you the motherfucker can't hang no clothes.
No.
I bet you that shit foreign, goddamn.
But
Yeah.
they can't comb their hair, obviously.
Yeah,
What they
yeah.
always do, throw them damn wigs and shit on.
Abundance and shit.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It say, without these cannot a city be inhabited.
Without these cannot a city be inhabited. You see? So you need, this is the real essential work. Okay? Because you think about it, just think about it. If, you know, the AC go out, all right, what good would Chris Brown do you? Nigga come here dancing, you know what I'm saying? That's all this nigga. You know, nigga come here do the routine on your ass. It's hot in the morning. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, you're starving, but the forest full of deer.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, Steph Curry just come up. All he can do is shoot three. Like
Shoot three,
what
that's
good
it.
would this nigga be in the clutch? In the, you know what I mean? So really, when you take away the glitz and the glamour from this society, it's just full of empty people. A lot of people really have no skills that's needed for life.
Right.
You know, if all you know is Eve brag about these jobs and shit, that's because on the grid you need the HR.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if we were surviving on some off-grid shit, you wouldn't need no goddamn HR. That's some on-grid shit. You know? So, going back to it, Esau has made, you know, society empty, man, void. This America has full of unskilled, useless people, man. You know, men and women, man, but especially the women. Because women have been able to just completely abandon, you know, their role in this society, man.
And especially amongst, you know, Jake, man.
Yeah.
Jake is worthless as hell, man.
Oh, man.
Jake don't even know how to cut fucking grass.
Nah, can't start the weed either.
Can't start the fucking weed either.
But to brag about the switch,
Right.
you see, they know how to work a mini machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Well, like you said, nigga don't know how to turn no bolts.
Change on top.
No, you know?
Check the oil.
Yeah. Nigga can't, you know, nigga can't change the battery. You
You know how to jump it off.
Yeah. What go where? Useless, man.
Useless, man.
Raised on the useless Eve, you got a useless generation of Jake, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You know, also, if I may, you could jump to that Jeremiah 2:13 straight to the point.
Mm.
It's also because what? Jake choose not to believe in the Lord, man.
Yep.
You know, because with the Lord, the Lord gives you skills. Brothers, folk came in the truth, really ain't know too much.
Yep.
You know, you come into this truth, man, and you start, the Lord open doors for you, man.
Yep.
You know, you start to learn, not just up in here, but you learn how to work. You know, you learn how to have patience. You actually learn to take pride in your job, man.
You learn how to network.
You know how to network, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Get that out of the show. And this for you, Laquan, you got it.
Good.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 13. It says, "For my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out of cisterns,
Yep.
broken cisterns that can hold no water."
And if a cistern can't hold no water, it's useless.
Empty.
Yeah, it's empty. You know, you here it is, you finna go on this journey and you feel this cistern up, but then you walk, it's empty and out. So it's pointless. It's like you shouldn't even have it.
Exactly.
So this is what the enchantments of Esau Edom has done to the masses, man, and especially amongst our people, man. You know, it just made them completely useless, man. Okay? That's what I say. There's no more fathers and husbands being produced. There's no more wives and mothers being produced, man. It's just a bunch of randomness, man. Just niggas that's here. The scriptures say, what they real quick about them born in vain, 2nd Ezra 9. I think like maybe 14 somewhere in there. That's why Ezra was telling, that's why the archangel Uriel was telling Ezra, don't worry about these niggas. These niggas empty. He pretty much telling these niggas is empty. You know, don't even be.
Here it is, verse 13.
Come on.
This is like you.
No, you got.
All right, this is 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 13. It says, "And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished.
Yeah.
And when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created."
Yeah, so the Lord telling Ezra, look, don't even be curious about how these niggas gonna die, how they gonna be punished, or when.
Right.
Just be inquired about those, all right, that are righteous, man. But it pretty much say these niggas were born in vain. Pretty much these niggas were born to be empty. That's why it's so random. Nigga, that's why I say, nigga, you know, Jake, you see how 2/3 reproduce? It just motherfuckers end up pregnant.
That's it.
You know, just on some random shit. And most of us, you know, a lot of him, we got him on some random shit. But see, 2/3, you know, they was born just to have an empty life to be destroyed.
Yeah, it is. Verse 15, it says, I have said before, and now do speak and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish
Yep.
than of them which shall be saved.
Yeah, there'll be many more. So 2/3 gotta produce more than the 1/3 because
Right.
it's twice as many. You know, that's why Eve got, you know, 7 kids, 7 baby daddies.
Right.
They just multiplying to be destroyed. Okay? That's why there ain't no structure. Like we say, nigga, you don't need to know your dad. You just here to be destroyed.
That's
You
it.
know what I'm saying? You don't need no type of structure. Nigga, you just need to be nurtured just enough. Just enough for Hot Pockets and Cheetos to survive until you destroy it, man. There's some more on it. Yeah, something.
That's it.
Nah. Point kind of China.
Come. And we can get that in, matter of fact, get that definition out one more time, bro.
That definition of empty, go back to it, because it's another part I missed.
Yeah.
It says, devoid of sense.
Devoid of sense, god damn, foolish. You know, empty,
Yeah.
you know?
That's it.
And the scriptures with it, Jeremiah 4:22,
I guess.
you know?
I got you right
You
here. You got it.
There's Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22, and it says, for my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are childish children,
Yep.
and they have none understanding.
Mm-hmm.
They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
Yeah, they're empty.
Yeah.
You know? And we call you foolish. Then silent, which is stupid. Fools, which that's another synonym for empty. A fool, because fool goes into empty-headed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So our people, you know, Lord calling our people empty, and they have no wisdom to do anything right. Going back into, like, you think about what niggas and the nigga woman do. Nothing that they do makes sense. Nothing that they do. Okay? Absolutely nothing that our people do and get on the internet and brag about makes sense. Okay? Gorilla got a gospel award. You know, what are we doing? What's going on?
What can the award do?
Yeah. It's just like what type of reasoning is going on amongst niggas, man. But it's just an empty culture, man.
Right.
It has no purpose, has no substance. Okay? It has no identity. It's just a bunch of random decision making, man. You know? That was it on that.
Yeah, that was it.
Come on. You had something, bro?
No.
Okay. Let's get that Proverbs 18:1.
Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 18. Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 1. It reads here.
Because see, the Lord separated us from that darkness, man. Because we was called out in that emptiness, man. You know, go ahead.
It says, through desire, a man having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom.
Yeah, so the Lord put the Spirit on us to separate ourselves, you know, from this empty culture and start to intermeddle with His wisdom, man.
Right.
You know, because going back, there's a remnant that's gonna be saved. Okay, and if the Lord leave you out there, okay, to stay empty, that means He don't deal with you, man. Okay, that's what people don't understand. Like, Yahushua don't deal with a lot of Israel right now. Okay, so He allows them to be enchanted. He allows them to be blinded. Okay, what the scripture says about the guys of this world, you know, what it, Corinthians 4:3. You had something?
Nah, I'll be that for you.
Yeah, Corinthians 4:3. You know?
Blinded by the gods of this world.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the gospel be hid, and the scripture go into is hid to them that are lost, that are empty.
That's right.
You know? The Lord want these niggas to stay empty to justify the judgment, man. You know, that's to come. What the Lord has the elect in the meaning with wisdom, man. Brothers get into things, man. Okay, brothers are becoming, you know, men of substance, men of value, man. You know? Yeah, men of purpose. Okay? You got it, bro.
You said, what again now?
Is it 2 Corinthians?
2 Corinthians?
Yeah, 2 Corinthians.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Okay, I said it wrong.
Yeah, this 2 Corinthians 4 and 3.
Yep.
It reads, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost,
Yep.
in whom the God of this world has blinded the mind of them which believe not.
Yeah, so it's God of this world, Esau, Edom, has blinded the minds of them, our people that believe not. So if you're lost, the Lord allow you to stay lost, and He wants you to stay empty. That's because He wants to judge you, man. Go ahead.
It says, least the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of the Most High, should shine unto them.
Yeah, so at least the light of the glorious gospel of Yahweh Mashiach shine upon them. Okay, which that happens for the elect.
That's right.
When the elect hear this word, okay, hey, they're activated. You know, Yahweh has risen in us, man. That purpose has risen in us. Cause we were empty. We were trying to, you know, be rappers and, you know, entertainers and, you know, whatever we was into, man.
Right.
Street niggas, you know, whatever we was into, we were chasing these empty ass, you know, American dreams, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We was trying to be somebody in the empty ass culture, man. You know? But now we have true purpose, and that's Yahweh Shai. And this purpose gonna be eternal, man. Because if we're joint heirs, man, we're rehearsing to see what we begun to do is rehearse for righteous acts. We begin to rehearse this for eternity, man. And see, what we're doing is gonna stand forever. You know? You got it, bro.
This is, let me get this.
You know, Matthew 24. We had some.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, we get what you had, then I'll get that, man. You got it, bro.
This, real quick, like you said, what we doing is going to stand for eternity.
Bro.
Yeah, I got you. This, Sirach 10 and 19. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed.
Yep.
And they that love him, an honorable plant.
Yep, it said a sure seed and an honorable plant. Okay? Because remember what the scripture say, how Israel become a degenerate vine. I planted Israel, a holy noble vine,
Right.
how they become a degenerate plant unto thee. Okay? Through the enchantments of Esau.
Right.
Okay? But through the mercy of Yahweh Shai, the Lord is beginning to cultivate, okay, the believers to be an honorable plant. Okay? You got it, bro.
They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed.
Dishonorable seed, go ahead.
They that transgress the commandments are a deceivable seed.
Yep.
But just going back into it, I got another precept, you know, going, hey, forever, we labor into forever.
Yep.
This is Isaiah 61 and 11. You got it, bro. For as the earth bringeth forth her bud,
Yep.
and as the garden causes things that are sown in it to spring forth, so the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah will cause righteousness and praise to spring forth before all the nations.
And that's what we're seeing happening now. But we're seeing the prelude of it now. Because as you have men teaching other men, okay, truth is growing, righteousness is growing. And then now you even have children that are being born in the truth. You see? Now you have second generation of it. You see? So now we back on our purpose. You see? Now the Lord has planted that seed of Yahweh Shai amongst his elect, and that seed is just constantly multiplying itself, man. Okay? And there's the wicked of our people multiply. The Lord getting ready to judge them, man.
Right.
We're gonna end with them prophecies, man. About the Lord, he gonna empty out the empty, guys.
I got one more precept. You got this Sirach 33 and 12.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them has he blessed and exalted.
Yep.
And some of them has he sanctified and set near himself.
Yep, Israel. Yep.
But some of them has he cursed and brought low and turned out of their places.
Yep, and this is talking to Esau. And then you have in this time our people that have followed Esau. Okay, they're going to receive with their judgment. They have to be reset. You know, they're going to come back, you know, in their right mind. They're going to come back, they're going to be born into their purpose. Okay? And the Israelite nobility. Okay? Because right now they're used to it. The Lord can't do nothing with it.
Right.
If the Lord don't start working with you, if the Lord didn't start working with us, we wouldn't be any use to your house shop.
Right.
Okay? The Lord had to begin to work on us. You know? So he's the one we had.
Okay, now, to your point, I was
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
he was like, the Lord leaving them lost. It's like, but see, the elect ain't really lost, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, your parents saying, make sure you come back, you make sure you back home for the street lights come on.
Yeah.
Their light, man, you have a shot. You know what I'm saying? The elect don't follow their light, they coming back home.
Yeah, yeah.
See, with 2/3, their child is lost, man. You know what I'm saying? The wolves gonna get them there. You know what I'm saying? Going into
They go and you find it, was that no vision of people perish?
There's the people first.
They go to what do something.
yeah.
Cause you gotta have vision.
You gotta have vision.
You gotta see the light.
Gotta see the light.
To go to the light.
To know what home is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, bro. You got it,
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go into what it had me think of being empty. Is those virgins, man. Those foolish virgins.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to bring that out. You know, Matthew 25, start at the top.
Yeah.
It says, then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise.
And that bridegroom was Yahushua.
Right.
You know? And then the 10 virgins, you know, symbolic for the men, you know, who've been called into this thing, but we know many called, but few are chosen. And we're going to see what's the difference between those that are chosen and those that are not. Go ahead.
It says that 5 of them were wise,
Yep.
the elect, and 5 were foolish.
Yep.
It says they that
Foolish goes back to empty.
empty.
You know, a fool. You see, so 5 were wise, but then 5 were empty. Go ahead.
It says they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
Took no oil, okay? And that oil is this word. And see, Jake not taking this word with them. You see, Jake, you know, have made himself popular on the internet, and you know, cause guess what? If you ain't got no oil, you know, your light gonna be dim, and you're not gonna be useful. What's useful for a dim light in pitch black? You know, you need something bright, something that's useful. You know, you can see some distance. Okay, and Jakes have made themselves, are making themselves useless, even those that know they're Israelites. You know, like what can the Lord do with a nigga like Sakari right now? Nigga, you're useless.
Right.
You know, these guys, you know, leadership, we call yourself a crip. Like you're useless. You forgot that you done missed the whole point of what's going on.
Yeah. Man.
You know?
Take through, man.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
It says, but the wise took oil in their vessels
Yep.
with their lamps.
Yep.
It says, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
Yep.
And at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh.
And right now the bridegroom is terrible in his grace period. You know, but guess what? You're responsible, you know, for having your oil, all right, and your lights trimmed. You know, your candles trimmed. Okay, that's why I always emphasis to stay sharp in this thing, stay engaged in this thing, man. So we can be on point, you know, so we can be bright. When you have a shot come back, we're gonna be bright. You know, you have a shot coming back to get them lights. You see, if you dim, you're gonna get, you know, passed over.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
It says, go ye out to meet him. It says, then all the virgins arose, trimmed their lamps, and the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
No, so cause see, when you go back to this custom, okay, cause what would happen, the bride and her friends, you know, Because you have the bride, the woman that's going to get married, and then you have the rest of her friends. Okay? And the bridegroom will go send for his bride, and the bridegroom will send for the woman, and they will follow, you know, the bridegroom back to his chambers. And remember, this is in the Middle East, so you didn't have the street lights, so you had to have your lamps and your oil. So when the bridegroom came to got his woman, all right, and her friends, all right, would come with her, but if they didn't have no oil in their lamps, they wouldn't be able to make the journey.
Right.
Because you were walking through, you know, darkness, but if you ain't got your light, you can't make that journey. You see, and it was your responsibility to be on wait for that bridegroom and have your oil and your lights trimmed. Okay, so when he come, you ready to go, and that's how it is with Yahushua. When he come, we want to be ready to go. You know, and Jake said, "Give us some of the oil, the food, and virgin." But wait till you see when this shit go down. Jake gonna be trying to come get the real breakdown. All right, Jake done took this grace period to play. Be empty. Niggas got fringes on everything, but niggas are empty. Because there's no way you follow somebody like Genesis and you know what you believe and he changed the doctrine like that. You ain't gonna have nothing to stand on.
God.
And what Jake gonna try to run to? They gonna try to run, get the breakdown. They gonna try to run and get confirmation on this.
Right.
Nah, niggas over with. You gonna go into it.
This is and the food said that the wives give us your oil,
Yep.
or your lamps are gone out.
Yep.
Their lamps are gone out. He
Yep.
said, but the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us
Yep.
and you.
Yeah.
He
You
said,
gotta think about it. It's like you only got so much oil for the trip. So you don't want to risk giving somebody your oil, okay? And then you don't even have enough oil to make it.
Right.
Like, nah.
Lest
Nah.
you be tempted.
Yeah. Like, nah, we gonna make this journey with the oil we prepared. You through. Yeah, you out of there. Cause you took this grace period and you stayed empty when you should have been getting full, getting that daily refill.
That's right.
You know, to where you could be sufficient, you can have enough sufficiency in you. Cause guess what? Like in Jacob's trouble, like us three brothers in here, we all can be separated. You know, for Lord willing, each brother got enough oil and wisdom to make it. You know, yeah, to make it through, to see through that dark time. You see, but if you, like I say, if you watch Genesis and you watch IUIC, you watching all these different camps and you confused, your oil empty, and it's gonna show when the lights go out how empty you live, man. You know, go ahead.
It says, but go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and while they went to buy, the bridegroom came.
Over with.
And they that were ready went in with him
Mm-hmm.
to the marriage.
Yep. So that's gonna be in the chariots. You know, going back to those chambers in Isaiah 26. Okay, it's only those wise virgins that what kept their oils filled, the candles trimmed. Okay, those lights burning bright, man, in preparation for the bridegroom. Go ahead.
It says, okay, it just says, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut.
Mm-hmm. It's just like in Noah. They wasn't shut that doors behind me. You know?
And the Lord guided Noah to what? To build the ark.
Yep.
You know, because Noah trusted in the Lord. He feared the Lord.
Yep.
That's the same thing that's going to happen in these days for the elect. You know, Lord willing, we're a part of that number.
And the other sons of God were bullshitting.
Exactly.
During that time. You
If
got-
I may have to bring this up.
Yeah, you got it.
huh? This 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm gonna get to the point. It says, Hear, O ye my beloved, says Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, behold, the days of trouble are at hand. But I will deliver you from the same. See, the beloved, the ones that trust in the Lord, the ones that have that oil, the ones that got those solid cisterns that ain't broken, that's catching the rain water. You know, because what the Lord said in Sirach, the 1st chapter, wisdom brings down skills.
Yeah.
You got that, we catch it, and we holding on to it.
Yeah, that's him.
It says, I will deliver you from the same. It said, be ye not afraid, neither doubt. For the Most High is your guide.
Is your guide, their lamp.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Psalms 119, 104.
Mm-hmm.
Thy precepts, I get understanding. Thy word like a lamp unto my feet. You know, and it said we're becoming full. You see, like brother said, we was those broken cisterns where Howard Shot came and patched it up. And I say now we can catch the rain, so we go through Jacob trouble with our lamp and with our water.
Yep.
Go
God.
Good, man. You got it, bro.
This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse
You had
1.
the proverb?
Yeah, no.
Okay, get that one then, because we're gonna ride out. But this one, that one in Jeremiah 51 and 2, them two, we can get it on there.
This Proverbs 29 and 18.
Yep.
Where there is no vision, the people perish.
Where there is no vision, the people perish. Jake is empty, so Jake is perishing. You look at Jake, it's a perishing estate. Okay? You look at the digression of our people. Okay, they're perishing while they're living, man. Each generation is getting worse and worse. So Jake ain't got, like I said, Jake has no vision. You can't, there's no way you can explain nigga culture and make it make sense.
No.
There's no vision amongst the niggas and the nigga women of nigga culture. There's no direction. There's no end game. All right, it's just a bunch of random poor decision making, and each generation get worse, man.
Straight conflict.
Yeah.
It says, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
He that keepeth the law, happy is he. You know, and being obedient to the best of our ability, okay, through faith, is putting us in a good place, man. And we can see the progress. You know, brothers are growing into leaders, man. Brothers learning how to deal as men. You know, brothers, you know, humbling down, you know, making the adjustments. Okay, we can coexist. You see, niggas, because as you can see, niggas can't coexist anywhere. You know, niggas shot up the Strawberry Festival, the what they had this shit in Jackson, the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
Mm-hmm.
You know, niggas can't coexist nowhere. Niggas getting kicked off the cruise in the Bahamas. You know, niggas can't. You know, niggas fight going on the cruise like niggas can't coexist nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's only getting worse. But then you got brothers that, you know, they just float. You know, the unity just float. It's getting stronger. You know, so the Lord is showing us the difference between being empty and being full in your house shopping. You know? Yeah. You got that, bro. You get them last two.
This is Isaiah 24, verse 1.
Yep.
It says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty.
The Lord made the earth empty. Go ahead.
It says, and maketh it waste.
Hey, fuck me out. Let me get this for
You
y'all.
got it.
This is Isaiah 42 and 13.
There you go.
The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man.
Yep.
He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war.
Yep. Yeah, whole shot. Yep.
Mm-hmm. He shall cry, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies.
Mm-hmm.
It said, I have a long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now will I cry like a travailing woman. I will destroy and devour at once.
They will destroy and devour at once. Yahweh Shai is coming to empty this bitch out.
Yeah.
That's why the Lord said the slain of the Lord will be worth from one end of the earth to the other. He's going to destroy the militaries of the earth, man. He's going to destroy a lot of heathen. Every 2/3, they are already numbered and accounted for. He's going to empty them out. You know? So Yahweh Shai is coming to empty this bitch out, man. He's coming out to empty the empty, man. Because Yahweh Shai, everything in Yahweh Shai King is going to be of use. There ain't going to be no useless nigga, you know, no useless heathen, just no. And then for Israel, we're all going to be fit for rulership with him. Maharatha's out there. You know, you got it, bro.
This is Isaiah 24, verse 1.
Yep.
It says, behold, the Lord maketh the earth empty, and maketh it waste,
Yep.
and turneth it upside down.
Yep.
It says, and scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof.
And scatter abroad the inhabitants thereof, man. So Yahweh Shai coming to break this shit up, man. Okay, this cycle, you know, of degeneracy, this cycle of sin, this cycle of rebellion. Yahweh Shai coming to break this shit up, man. Okay, empty this bitch out. You can get that in Jeremiah. And we can get that.
Jeremiah 50.
51.
51.
1 and 2.
Okay. This is Jeremiah 50 and verse 1. It says the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans
It's America today. Go ahead.
by Jeremiah the prophet.
Go ahead.
It says, declare ye among the nations,
Mm-hmm.
publish,
And that's what we're doing now.
publishing.
Great was the company of them that published
Publish,
it.
yeah.
Prophets.
Yeah, and that's what's happening now, you know? Because guess what? When you upload a video, what's the last button you have to hit? Publish.
Publish.
You see? Go ahead.
It says to set up a standard, publish and conceal.
And see, this is the standard of the Bible. And this is what America is being measured up to, is the Bible. You see? That's why it's not looking good for America, because according to the standard of the Bible, you out of here. You know, you're guilty. Go ahead. What they say in Jake? Well, we're gonna throw the book at your ass.
Book at you.
And the Lord from the literally throw the book at your ass. Go
It
ahead.
says, conceal not, say Babylon is taken.
Yep.
Baal is confounded.
Yep. Hey, going to Baal, which is idolatry. Because you look at the culture of the society, it all goes back to pagan, all right, idolatry, man. Okay? Everything, the queen of heaven, you got the Thugo, that's a deity, okay? You got all these different, what they call Bacchus, party, the god of party.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah,
shit.
all this shit. So everything goes back to some type of, deity. Okay? But the Lord said Baal is founded, which that was the, Baal and Marduk is gonna go on too. That was the main two deities of the Neo-Babylonian Empire. And then it was confounded. So now the Lord he's confounding this shit.
And what Esau doing, he got down making these YNs goddamn idols.
Yep.
Everybody dressing like young boy.
Yep.
Everybody got down walking. You got motherfuckers walking like him and shit, trying to talk like him.
Oh boy.
Following suit behind him, man. They become idols.
Yeah. And they what they pardon this nigga,
He about, what did they say, he about to go on tour in Florida or some shit. Yeah, he got something out there in Florida. You talking about lock, what Charleston White say, man, lock his ass up.
Yeah.
So he ain't gonna go down there playing with Florida. They gonna lock his ass up.
See what they talking about too.
Right, yep.
You got it, bro.
Come on. Like his ass up. Throw away the key then.
That's what the Lord about to do to Esau ass, man.
Mm-hmm.
Lock his ass up. He gonna serve his motherfucking bed. He gonna get rid of his ass.
Exterminate.
It says, Baal is confounded, Moradok is broken in pieces. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces.
And Lord, like I said, Lord finna break up this society, man. Everything that people idolize and trust in and believe in and, worship, the Lord is gonna confound all that shit, man. Go ahead.
It says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, bro, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast.
Yeah, so it's gonna make her desolate, which is empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Lord is getting ready to empty out the empty, man. Esau created an empty society, and how shall come to clean this bitch up, man? That was it on it.
What it talks about in Revelation with the bezel of destruction.
Bezel. You know what I'm saying? Sweep this bitch, man.
The real street sweep.
Yeah. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters at 5 once again, we'll give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Hashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great examples towards your brothers. Peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully, shalom.
Shalom. That was lunch, though.